Let's actually get you some updates from a Morgan Stanley note as well. Morgan Stanley is saying that 2026 is likely to be a macro trade in stocks. The brokerage also feels that most risks are likely to come from outside India. So it is here with the details. So fill us in. What is MS saying?
So it's an interesting note from Ridhan Desai of Morgan Stanley and where he details 2026 outlook. As per him, long-term story is gaining strength with government policy action, and most of the risks that India might face will come from outside, and 2026 is likely to be a macro trade in the stocks. As far as Sensex outlook is concerned for 2026, base case where he finds 50% probability, target is 95,000, implying an upside of almost 12%. Bull case where the probability is of 30%, the target is as high as 107,000, implying an upside up to 26%. And in the bear case where the probability is 20%, target is 76,000, and implying downside of almost 10%. Now talking about the preferred sectors, first one is consumer discretionary. He says urban demand recovery will aid the consumption, and GST cut that government had recently announced augurs well for the sector. Second one is industrials. Robust government capex and pickup in private capex drive overweight on this sector. Financials, rising credit growth and low credit cost will be offset by the compression that these banks might see in NIM, but deregulation that government might take will be positive for these banks. On some of the sectors, he is neutral. First one is consumer staples, because he believes that fundamentals could improve as rural growth in the last few months has seen an improvement. Technology is least exposed to domestic growth, although US recession is a risk for the sector. But AI debate is hurting multiples, but on the earnings front, he is not seeing any downside in the foreseeable future. But some of the least preferred sectors, first one is utilities. He is underweight given lack of cyclicality. Second one is energy. He prefers domestic cyclicals over global cyclicals, and healthcare because he is avoiding defensive sectors. And last one is materials, because he is taking cyclical exposures via industrials. We'll have to see over the next 1 year, it's 76,000 or 107,000 for Sensex.
Okay, all right. So thank you very much for that. That's the Morgan Stanley view on equities.